Okay. Here we are at the Royalton Negril Resort and Spa, as you can see. It's a little bit of a breezy day today, but we're going to do a resort walkthrough because YouTube has a lack of them. Right? This is our third trip here, so it's probably really breezy. But it's our third trip here, so this is coming from a few years insight. But yeah, so this is the main lobby. You walk in, gorgeous view of Bloody Bay. It's got a nice place to sit in the evening because it has a nice cooler breeze and lots of comfy seats. So you come and you check in here. They give you your wristbands instead of keys, which are nice, so you don't have to walk for the keys. The gelato shop, coffee shop, good to use in the morning, is right there. Sports bar is a little further down, and beyond that is the hotel block, I believe, which is number 1 or 2. On this side of the lobby is the lobby bar and more couches, as you can see. Again, a great place to hang out at night. Lobby bar does close down at 11. The Martini Bar, however, goes until 2. And the sports bar goes until 3, if not later. Really depends. And down there is the gym, which I guess we can go have a look at. I came on vacation, so I don't utilize the gym. However, I see the odd person walking in gym attire. Again, gorgeous view. Absolutely beautiful view. In my opinion, the Royalton is the nicest resort in the Bloody Bay. Mind you, I'm biased from staying here for 3 years. But as you can see, there's the gym. Gym's over here. The spa's over here as well. And then the Hideaway begins over there, which we didn't opt for and we never have. Because the Hideaway Beach, and I'll get to that later, is not nearly as nice as the rest. I guess these are hospitality rooms, or if you have to check out early, or your plane doesn't leave until later. So you check into one of these bad boys, and you have somewhere to at least shower before your flight, because some of the people's flights can be a lot longer. We're only coming from Toronto, so it's about 4 hours, 3.5 hours. Okay. Apparently that big catamaran out there is owned by the resort. However, I haven't seen it move for the entire week. Now we'll go downstairs. It's pretty busy already. It's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. People are up and at 'em. This escalator takes us down to where the restaurants and the Martini Bar is, and I guess the rest of the resort, technically. So this way you have your little overpriced store with all of the amenities, or if you forget sunscreen, you can buy for $30 plus. Good morning. This is the main buffet. Does breakfast, lunch, dinner. Does close down at 10:30, which can be kind of frustrating if you want to sleep in on your vacation and still get a breakfast. That's the store. There's these little screens all around the resort with what's happening each day and where it's happening. We didn't utilize anything but the beach chairs, to be honest. That's the Hideaway. I'll show you why we think the Hideaway Beach isn't worth the upgrade, even if it comes with Ocean Point, which is the restaurant which people say is the best on the resort. But the Hideaway Beach is a man-made beach, and the water gets kind of swampy because it doesn't have much action. Not to mention at this time of year, which is December, it loses sun first because the sun sets behind the resort. But as you can see, it's a man-made beach. It's almost like a cove, I guess. And the water's kind of gross. But the Hideaway pool's over there, bar, and then Ocean Point. You do get a beautiful sunset. Excuse me. When the sun does set further over, depending on the seasons, obviously. Okay. So we're not going to go tour Hideaway, obviously, because we don't have Hideaway access. But if you're not, we'll look at the rest of the resort. There are these great little walkways that take you down right over the water, which is nice to hang out. They're not ever used. And at night, go down there and hang out. It's very romantic. You can even have a dinner there if you choose to pay. This is another beach, which I believe this is full access. You don't have to have Hideaway access for. Again, if you're someone who really likes the sun, this isn't the best beach, at least this time of year in December, just because the sun kind of hangs it behind the resort. So you're in the shade, which isn't bad after day 4 or 5 when you're completely roasted and require some shade. Water's rough today. It's not like we haven't seen water this rough at any one of our other visits. But we were talking to the locals and they said it's been really windy and real rough. Bloody Bay's typically super calm. It's incredibly warm too. So this is the main entertainment area. They do little shows every night. They got plenty of seats, so you've never had trouble finding a seat. Mind you, we've heard reports of the hotel only being at 60%. This is the first week of December, so I guess people are waiting to get ready to get their holiday visits. As you can see, that's the stage to do shows. Tons and tons of chairs, lots of seating around it as well. And then that's the Martini Bar over here. They get a full list of cocktails and beer and good live jam bands that are here typically every night, pre and post show. They do things like the silent disco and that. Martini mix. But it doesn't open until the evening. So this is kind of like Restaurant Row. We'll start from the one end closest to the escalators, and we'll walk back down. This is the culinary experience, which is an upgraded experience. Again, not something we've done. It's $90 a person. I'm sure if you prefer a heightened food experience, it's worth it. This is right next door. It's the Armadillo, which is Tex-Mex. It's good. And right next to that's Calypso, which is the West Indies inspired food. Actually, the only place you can get a patty on resort, which is kind of crazy to me, being that we're in Jamaica. And next to that's the Hunter Steakhouse, which generally is everyone's favorite restaurant. It's nice to have a steak dinner. This is something new that we experienced on this trip too, is restaurants being closed throughout the week. They've been different resorts, and again, that might be something just because the occupancy levels are lower. Next to Hunters, you have Zen, which is the Tabanaki hibachi sit around and get food thrown in your mouth thing, which is fun. So it's nice to sit around a big table, meet new people. They got an outdoor space. I don't know why, because everyone wants to eat inside at the hibachi grills. But this is a reservation, first come, first serve. And you have to wait in line to make your reservation. They do fill up really fast. Nurses station's down here, and that's something we've utilized. Building 6, it's block 6. This is behind entertainment. So if you're booking a swim out here, you're not gonna have much of a view. I'll walk down. The one thing I gotta say about this resort is the trees are absolutely phenomenal. They're massive. It's hard to get a good understanding of how big these trees are. The grounds are kept absolutely spectacular by the staff. I'd say little to no bugs, which I'm sure is due to extreme use of pesticides, but it gives you an idea of a tropical paradise. The trees are just phenomenal. I believe this is a part of building 2, right? Because we stayed here. We actually ended up almost in the same room 2 years in a row, just by pure chance. Swim outs, again, not going to have the best view of anything, and are in the shade. So if you're on the fence about upgrading to a swim out, I would actually recommend against it, only because they don't heat them, and if they're in the shade, they're going to be a cold plunge pool with a view of nothing. So depends, I guess, what you're after. This bar here is attached to one of the buildings. And again, it's super underutilized, so it's not very hard to get a drink here. And it's perfect if you're A, staying in this building, or B, hanging out on the beach over here. This is a quick map of the resort. I believe that is Sands Beach Bar. And the name is obviously in the fact that it's on sand. Let's just take a little walk down. This is a part of the spa, which is nice, right on the beach. Get a little massage, of course, for an added cost. They do have these little cabanas scattered around the resort on the beaches. They come with an added cost. It's somewhat reasonable, I suppose. Depends. It's a pretty good view. They just set up, and they're pretty big, so they do come with added seats and a butler service, which is handy. And of course, the view. There are a few of them on this beach. Here's some swim ups. These ones again in the shade, however, with a much better view. This goes down to a little boardwalk again out on the ocean, or the bay rather. This path kind of it's just a one-way path. That really you have to take your way, or find your way back to the sands bar. It doesn't wrap around the building or anything. They do yoga down here. I believe, well, someone looks like someone got married. Great snorkeling along all this rock. Tons of fish and sea life. We're just now walking around whichever building this is. Sorry to those that are expecting numbers, but I don't know them. So lots of seating scattered throughout the resort if you're looking just to get away. It's nice to have some reprieve from the constant heckling on the beach. It's actually not that bad, but okay, so on the back side, this is where the Nexus, you're gonna come here and you can book any of your whatever cruises or whatever. You can come get snorkeling gear here. This is the Jerk Hut. So they do lunch. They do lunch here. It's the same menu every day, but it's incredibly good. The chef seems to know what he's doing. He's got a handle on it. It is incredibly good. This is Dips, I believe, the Dips pool bar. There's 2 levels to it. There's a dry side and a wet side that's actually in the pool. This is the main pool itself. As you can see, there's lots of seating. People do reserve seats, even though they're instructed not to, but I wouldn't stop that I wouldn't let that stop me from just removing someone's towel if there's no one there, because, you know, you paid to be on your vacation as well. So there's some beds in the pool. It is Infinity Edge. It's got a beautiful view right out into the bay. That's the lower bar. They have a food truck as well, which is got some good snacks throughout the day. So if you do want to take a break from eating jerk chicken and sausage and all that, there is this food truck, and it's open from noon till 5. And it's got lots of options. If you're coming with children, there is this children's pool area with the dumping bucket and that. Seems the kids enjoy it. I'm sure there's a few adults who do after a couple loudmouth soups as well. And again, you have to really be cautious if you are picking swim up rooms, because you're not going to end up with the greatest view, but a lot of them here. And I know they do cost significantly more. Along the pool there are these cabanas. They're first come first serve basis. Again, people come and reserve them with their towels, but as you can see, there's signs stating there's no reservations permitted. They don't actually enforce it like any all-inclusive resort. And over here we have Grazie, which is the Italian restaurant. They do lunch, dinner. When we were here about 6 months ago, they were also doing breakfast, which was super handy if you're staying on the further end of the resort. Instead of walking all the way to the buffet, they serve essentially the same thing, you know, classic breakfast, bacon, eggs. They do lunch they do pizza. You can do takeaway pizzas from 12 until 3, or you could sit down and have like a full service restaurant or experience. You need a shirt. Menu's the same throughout the day, like lunch and dinner. Food's pretty good. Overall, the real one real complaint that we hear from people is the restaurants just aren't the greatest. But I mean, I've never gone to an all-inclusive resort and expected to have a foodie experience. You kind of gotta understand what you're dealing with. So these are blocks 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe. I'm probably wrong. I know at least 3's here because this is where we're staying. Right off the pool, you have the beach. You just walk right down to the beach. It's beautiful. Securities hangs out here. You don't have too many beach sales people. There are the few that hang out, but after you tell them you're not interested a couple times, they'll stop asking. As long as you're friendly. They're incredibly friendly people. They don't mean you any harm. They're just trying to make money like the rest of us. But as you can see, the beach is wavy today. It's not like this. The water is even a little stirred up. It's super clear when it's calm, which is generally the most of the time it's calm. Okay, these are probably the best swim outs, in my opinion. Again, in the shade for the entirety of the day, so they're never gonna get bath water warm, which can be a nice refreshing dip after getting blistered in the sun for multiple days in a row. These are the ocean view rooms. This is building 3. This is where we're staying. The pools aren't connected. They're connected to each other, but that's it. They're not connected to anything else. And there's no real walk path, like paths to get from the pool out to the beach and back. So you kind of have to go through your room regardless. So again, it's not, in my opinion, not the best upgrade, but that's up to you people. A little volleyball court. There's actually, we watched some good beach volleyball surprisingly this week. There's lots of shady spots to be found on the beach, or sunny ones. It is quite early still in the morning, so the sun's not as high as it would be at noon. So it's got a pretty big beach. The sand is super fine, it's wonderful. They do a great job of breaking it out and making sure chairs are stacked and have pads on them, which is nice because sitting on plastic wicker can be a bit painful after time. Some wonderful trees again on the beach. Get another look at the map to give you an idea. As you can see, we're right here. The last time we looked at the map, over here, I didn't even actually, we don't hang out over here this far because this is Diamond Club. But this is, there's like a towel rack here. Diamond Club starts and goes over there, and there's an entire like pool and whatnot. We didn't opt for the Diamond Club because we don't need a butler. From what I understand, they're not super attentive. But again, it's all, they do make reservations, so you don't have to stand in line for the hibachi or tabanaki, which is great. But yeah, there's a whole pool over here. Again, this is reserved for Diamond Club, so we don't have access to these bars throughout the day, but from what it seems like it's got a great view of the beach. Very similar setup to the other main pool. we'll go down to the beach for one last look, and that'll be it. As you can see, that's the rest of the bay. The best part about, well, one of the best parts about where the Royalton is located is that it's at the end of the beach, so you don't get much foot traffic as far as people walking from other resorts, which I'm not fully even sure if they're allowed on this beach, because there is security that sits at the far end down here, and you have to check in and out. So I'm not sure if they let other people from other resorts check in on this beach, but still pretty quiet. The resort overall is obviously beautiful. One of the newer ones on, I think, if not the newest one on Bloody Bay. 100% recommend. As I said, we've been here 3 times. We'll continue to come back for sure until they build something else. We've stayed at multiple Royaltons. We just love the feel. This is in no way sponsored by the Royalton either. This is my honest opinion. Yeah, I fully don't think the Hideaway is worth the extra money, but if you can't find a good deal or get an upgrade for free, then go for it. But unless you like hanging out by a pool or a swamp, I don't think the added features are worth it. Yeah, that covers it. That was a resort walkthrough of the Royalton.